Hello, everyone. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about what you should do during a scary market. Just recently, I got an interesting email message from a friend who last year sold his venture backed business for a lot of money. Now, this is somebody who's really familiar with entrepreneurial risk. He's also really familiar with having money that needs to be invested because he sold a couple of businesses over the years. In his email, he asked, Roger, what are you telling people right now? I told him what I always tell people. Markets get scary from time to time. Markets get scary. News gets crazy. People running around like we should do something. It always feels that way. Like, what are we going to do about it? Are we going to make moves or not? The first thing we need to remember is that being scared when the news is scary, well, that's perfectly normal. When all your neighbors and coworkers are scared, or as an old neighbor of mine used to say, scared, when the financial pornography network is yelling things at you, when the radio is scary, it's normal. It's normal to be scared. I get scared when I read or watch scary news. Just yesterday, I had to turn the TV off because I was tired of hearing about it and I was scared. That doesn't make me weak or dumb. You know what it does? It makes me human. It's really important for everyone to understand that. Today, I am granting you permission to feel that emotion of fear. I'm worried about my money because everybody else around me, well, hell, they seem to be worried about their money. It's okay to feel that emotion. It's normal to feel that emotion. We shouldn't bottle it up. If you feel scared about what's going on in the financial markets, the first person you should pick up the phone and call or go meet with is what I call a real financial advisor. A real financial advisor, they will give you permission to be scared. They should also tell you you can hold two compelling thoughts in your mind at once. I know that sounds kind of crazy, doesn't it? The thoughts are number one, I'm scared. This is terrifying. The other thought is, I'm not going to do anything about it. Just because you're scared doesn't mean taking action is the right course. In most cases, when it comes to scary markets, it's the wrong course. Taking action is the wrong course. Doing something just for the sake of doing something, as well intentioned and as right as it feels, it usually turns out to be destructive. So, what should you do, or what should we do instead? First, I'm assuming you have a portfolio that was intentionally designed for you and your goals. It's not a hodgepodge of things just thrown together. It's not a smorgasbord of buying a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, basically hedging your bets everywhere. It's a real portfolio that's built on purpose. There's a reason the portfolio was built the way it is to give you the highest probability of meeting your long term financial goals. Let me repeat, the reason your portfolio is built the way it is to give you the highest probability of meeting your goals. Now, if that's true, and that portfolio was built intentionally based on your values and your goals, the things that you said were important to you when you were thinking clearly. Now, I'm pointing and talking to myself right now. In my portfolio was built based upon my values and goals. The things I said were important to me and my family when I was thinking clearly. I said at that time that time with my family and serving in my community are the most important things to me. I wanted to build and did build a portfolio based on helping me and my wife and my family have more of that. I intentionally constructed my portfolio specifically for those two reasons. If that's the case, or if that's the case in your situation, your portfolio was designed and your values and goals have not changed. You should not change. In other words, when I designed my portfolio, I took into account the reality that markets go up and markets go down. Shouldn't come as a surprise to any of us that markets, they get scary. We just have to weigh the evidence and make sure that we don't get wiped out. We knew there were going to be scary hours. We knew there were going to be scary days, scary weeks, or even scary months. We don't know exactly when or exactly why, but we know they're going to come up. So it shouldn't come as a surprise. Although it feels always like a surprise, it always feels new. It's never happened this way before, you are told from the Financial Pornography Network. Now, the actors involved could be new, the exact circumstances could be new, but the fact that scary markets show up, that is not new. And the fact that they can and will and do end, that is also not new. So when you realize the reason your portfolio is built is to give you the highest probability of meeting your long-term financial goals. I get it. It can get really scary out there. What we need to do is have an almost ritual reaction to get you back to your roots. Your roots are your values, your goals, your longer-term plan. If you don't have those things, well, I'm sorry to tell you, all bets are off. It's extremely, extremely difficult to figure out how to react. If your portfolio is just a hodgepodge of things thrown together, a smorgasbord of buy a little bit of this, buy a little bit of that, all bets are off. I don't even know how you'd handle a portfolio like that in a scary market. You're left now, I know, you're feeling unsatisfactory. I've given you what you would consider terrible unsatisfactory of advice of saying stay the course. Let's say that emotionally, my advice, it doesn't work for you. You know what? That means you probably shouldn't be invested in the stock market. If you can't handle the uncertainty associated with the stock market, just raise your hand. Say, I'm out. Again, I'm out. That's okay. Now, I would suggest you do that when you're out of the lifeboat and back on the ship. Guess what's going to happen when you're back on the ship and everything is returning to normal? You'll say, you know, I'm okay. I really don't want out of the market. That's what we do as humans. So in closing, when the markets are scary, it's normal to be scared. Doesn't mean you have to do anything. Go back through the process that you went through to build your portfolio. See if anything's changed. Your values, your goals. If everything's the same, remind yourself that reality is risk shows up every once in a while. I'd like to just leave you with a Winston Churchill quote. The quote is, "Democracy is the worst form of government ever created by the mind of man, except for all others." I'd kind of tweak that a little bit and say building a portfolio on purpose with a goal of intentionally designing a portfolio of giving you the greatest probability of meeting your goals that were based on your values, that's the worst way ever to invest, except for all the others. I hope that helps. I'd love your feedback. Please reach out to me at roger@balzerwealth.com. Give me a call at 440-610-3012 or shoot me a text at 440-610-3012. Make it a great day.